Welcome back to Anything Can Be a Podcast with Taylor Cartago. I'm Taylor Cartago, and anything can be a podcast. Today, I'm here at the wonderful Union Square Park talking about Alvin and the Chipmunks. Now, the interesting thing about Alvin and the Chipmunks is that they are a musical group and a musical band. I'm here in Union Square because I think that this location is the perfect place to talk about such a calm and endearing IP from my childhood and my lifetime, right? Now, I hope that there are no distractions or anything in the video. Alvin and the Chipmunks is generally a pretty light subject, so this shouldn't be too hard to follow. I hope that's okay. Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks is a really interesting series of movies. There are 4 Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, but to understand Alvin and the Chipmunks, we need to go back to Alvin and the Chipmunks, the show, right? The Alvin and the Chipmunks show was created, who knows when? Back in the 70s, I think 1970 is when Alvin and the Chipmunks were created. I didn't do any research for this, but I'm just assuming. Alvin and the Chipmunks, you have your classic trio, right? All raised by Dave. It starts with one, Alvin. Alvin, the titular Alvin of Alvin and the Chipmunks. He's also a chipmunk, which is a little bit weird. The fact that Alvin and the Chipmunks implies that Alvin wouldn't be one of the chipmunks himself, but Alvin is a chipmunk, which is totally cool. Now, what I've come to understand is that Alvin is the leader of the group. He's the one that's fun and silly and goofy. And he's generally, kind of rowdy. He's a face, and he's happy to be there. And he's like classic boy band. He is classic boy band guy, right? Alvin is just a fun, interesting little dude, and he wears a hoodie with the letter A on it. The hoodie has the letter A on it, and it's a really interesting kind of dichotomic thing there where he has the letter there, and it's implicative of the fact that he's kind of self-centered, right? Really fun, interesting stuff here. Now, here's the thing, right? None of the other chipmunks have a letter on their. None of the other chipmunks have a letter on their shirt, right? He's the only one that does, and I just think Alvin, you didn't need that, but good for you, right? Next we have Simon. Simon is the second chipmunk of the group. He has glasses. He wears a blue hoodie. Simon's a really fun, interesting guy, right? Now, Simon, he's a nerd. He's tall, he's older, he's a little bit wiser than the others, and he's kind of the voice of reason, and he's the brain, right? Where Alvin is rowdy and erratic, Simon kind of knows what's happening, and he's safe with a lot of his decisions. Now, you have a cool, interesting 1 and 2 with that one, right? Where it's 1, Alvin's doing his thing, right? He's loud and obnoxious, and then Simon, he's like, hey, I don't think we should do this. Simon in the movies is voiced by Matthew Gray Gubler, who many of you may know as an actor in other things, but I know him as Simon from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I don't really know what else he's worked on. Now, then we hit Theodore. Theodore is the third of the Alvin and the Chipmunks group, right? Theodore is a fun and interesting one, right? He's the youngest of the group. He's got a baby face. He's got a light and happy-go-lucky personality. He's just happy to be there, and he's just overall a sweet little guy, right? Now, he also doesn't have a letter on his shirt. He's just happy to be there. One of the key characteristics is that he likes to eat food. All of them like to eat food, but Theodore, I guess, is one of them. Another one that likes to eat food for some reason or other, right? Now, I'm sorry for the noise. It's a lot is going on right now. I'm not sure. I'm not going to look behind me. But now, okay. So now you have the trio, right? How do you run a trio like this? Well, here's what happens, right? You have your trio, you have your video, whatever, blah, 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 right? And let me tell you this, America. They are a hit sensation of team, right? Alvin and the Chipmunks are like a really cool, close-knit group that kind of follows traditional boy band fame, right? In the same way that an NSYNC or One Direction would, where the Chipmunks are personalities all in themselves, right? Now, the fun and interesting thing about this personality that we've created is that you now see the inside of Alvin and the Chipmunks' lives while they're on tours and while they're popular and while they're famous, right? I haven't seen the original TV show, but this is just a thing that generally a lot of people... I don't know what's going on back there. Now, here's the fun and interesting thing, right? we get to a movie, right? And you'd think maybe this movie is a little bit similar to the original TV show where it's lighthearted and funny. I think that the movies are actually a little bit raunchier and have a stronger amount of character as to who the Chipmunks are, right? It starts off, right, the first one, Alvin and the Chipmunks. It was created in around like 2001 or something. I'm not entirely sure. Again, I didn't really look this one up. Alvin, Simon and Theodore are just three chipmunks living alone, and they can sing, but they haven't really tapped into a market of any kind with their singing, right? Now, the fun thing about this is that the three of them are discovered. They're discovered by a guy named Dave. Dave, in the show, is kind of their parental guardian, their figure, right? And he's a cool and interesting guy. I'd say the fun thing about Simon and Theodore and Alvin is that they have been together and they've been friends for longer than they've been in the band. They start out as friends. They start out as like a group of people, and that's a really fun and cool and interesting thing, right? Now, what I will say, right? They're talented. A lot of untapped potential with their group, right? They're walking around naked through the streets of who knows where. I don't really know where Alvin and the Chipmunks takes place, but they're walking the streets. They're having a good time, and Dave sees them and is like, he's chilling in his house, right? Alvin and the Chipmunks are at the window, and it's like around Christmas time, right? And they start singing. They start singing for him, and they're like, Christmas, Christmas time for cheer, time for... And then they start singing the Alvin and the Chipmunks song about Christmas time, right? Now, a key thing about Christmas and Christmas-themed movies and film and media in general is that Christmas is about connectivity, and it is about bringing people together, which is why Christmas is a topic that we describe in a lot of movies about family and a lot of movies about found family and familial groups of people, right? You have your classic Home Alones, where it's all about Kevin McAllister trying to find his family to come back home for Christmas, right? You have the Grinch discovering that he wants the connectivity of his group of people to kind of guide how he discovers Christmas, right? Now, this is a fun and interesting topic and fun and interesting idea, and I will say that Alvin and the Chipmunks really hits it on the head. They really hit the nail on the head with that one, right? I'm a big fan of the Christmas time for cheer scene, right? Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks are a really cool group, and they all have their different personalities. Dave takes them in. He's like, okay, I'll give you some housing. I'll do X, Y, and Z, right? Dave, has them in the house. He leaves for a little bit, I believe, for a little bit around a certain mark of the movie. I'm not entirely sure, but he's how he is. He's just, I gotta go do a thing, right? Dave is kind of irrelevant in my brain. It's not Alvin and the Chipmunks and Dave. It's Alvin and the Chipmunks. Also, Dave is there. Do I still love Dave? I still love Dave. Dave is one of my favorite characters, but I think that he doesn't get enough appreciation in these films, so I have less knowledge and have less of a knowledge base of who Dave is as a character, right? If Dave were to be a part of the Chipmunks, that'd be great, but he's kind of like a tour manager for them after Ian, who we'll get to a little bit later, right? Now, where do we go from here, right? Where are we now with Alvin and the Chipmunks chilling in this house, right? Dave is out. The three of them, they see they see some food. They see some food in the house. I don't remember what food that they eat, but they're like gotta love. They're like gotta. Cheeseballs, that was it. Okay. But now, the fun thing about this is that they're eating their food. They're eating the cheeseballs. They're doing their thing, right? At one point, they're spinning around on a chandelier, and there's a fun little thing that you're doing, just having fun, like making a mess of like the house, right? Dave isn't there, and Dave is kind of just confused the entire time, and he's like, man, what's going on when he enters the house? And this is when he says his signature line, Alvin, right? He chants, he's like, Alvin, right? Now, he does this a lot over the course of the show. Alvin kind of does this thing where he causes a ruckus, and Dave likes to use that signature catchphrase, Alvin, like he screams, Alvin, every time, and that's kind of like the fun little joke that they run with for the entire series, and in the TV shows, which again I have not watched, right? But where does this lead us? Alvin and the Chipmunks are just a couple chipmunks just happy to be there, happy to be having a found family, and happy to be a part of this group, right? We see Ian. Ian is a music producer. Ian discovers them, just through means. I believe that he knows Dave. Again, I don't remember. But Ian, he's doing his thing, and he's like, oh, wow, like you're you're like chipmunks that can sing. This is marketable. It's all about marketability, right? The fun thing about Ian is that he's kind of an evil guy, but he's kind of a funny guy, right? And a lot of the things he says are really fucked up. I'm not gonna lie to you. They're really messed up. But the fun and interesting thing about Ian is that he's still a lovable character because he's just so witty and charismatic, right? I still love Ian even if he is the antagonist of this film, and that's something that I think these movies do very well. They humanize Ian in a way that really works, and I'm proud of them, right? Now, the fun thing that we're getting to right now is what happens to Alvin and the Chipmunks, right? They get their shirts, right? Again, Alvin's has the A on it, and then the others are just like plain. Some have hoodies. I think they all have hoodies, actually. They're all hoodies, right? They have pockets here, I believe. There's Alvin and the Chipmunks. You know, it's the classic Halloween costume that you see groups of people do when they run out of ideas for Halloween costumes, and they're like, well, we all have shirts that are red, blue, and green. Maybe we dress up as Alvin and the Chipmunks for Halloween. I personally think that it's a really good idea because if you don't want to try for a Halloween costume, the option is always there to be Alvin and or the other Chipmunks. The problem with the Alvin and the Chipmunks costume is that you really can only do it with a group of 3. You could have someone be Ian, or you could have someone be Dave, but those costumes would probably take a little bit more. I am a little bit thirsty. I will do that soon. But now, where are we? Yes, you can. I guess you could do a five person group. There's a place and a time where Alvin and the Chipmunks can be a fun little group activity. You know what I'm saying? Not really more than just a trio, though. If you have 5 people, maybe it works. Maybe someone could play Jenny Slate in the classic Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked, but that one's an even harder costume to get. And at that point, Alvin and the other people dressing up as Alvin and the Chipmunks, they should be trying a little bit harder, right? Now, where am I in the movie? Alvin and the Chipmunks are now finding critical acclaim. They are creating their music, they're creating their songs, and they're doing covers with their high-pitched Alvin and the Chipmunks voices, right? They're doing pop covers. They sing really well. And the group, Alvin and the Chipmunks, they're all just really great people. They're all just happy to be there, and people fall in love with the characters, and there are focus groups, and they have their music and their singing and everything. All around this time, Dave is doing his own thing. He's doing his own thing. It's a fun little activity for him, right? You know, Alvin and these chipmunks, right? They become overworked. Now the really disappointing thing is that Alvin and the other subsequent chipmunks in this group become overworked and they get really tired. Then, you know, sometimes you give them coffee or sugar, I think, and then they like bounce across the walls. That's not healthy. That's not healthy for a chipmunk. The average chipmunk is how many grams, right? You give them a whole donut. That's not healthy. That's not good, right? Now, I will say, Alvin and what is... Sure. Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks are overworked. They're a little bit tired. This is a tough thing for them, right? Now, what happens next? I think Dave. Have you guys seen Alvin and the Chipmunks?
A long time ago.
A long time. Do you know how that first movie ends?
Don't know.
I don't know how that movie ends at all.
I'm afraid I don't know.
Yeah. I'm doing a podcast right now. I figure that's why a couple people are gathered around. So I guess that movie ends. They don't end up being with Ian, right? I know that's generally how the movie should end. They're not with Ian by the end, and they're just happy to live with Dave. But they are still pop stars, I think. They end the movie as pop stars, and they sing and they do the dances and they do their thing, right? It ends on a musical number, as many movies did back in the early 2000s, which is cool, fun, and interesting, and all that. Right now, we get to Alvin and the Chipmunks 2, the Squeakquel. Alvin and the Chipmunks 2, the Squeakquel is a fun and interesting movie because what happens in the Squeakquel is that you're introduced to the Chipettes, right? Chipmunks, by nature, are not inherently male, but the Chipettes, by nature, are inherently female. You put E-T-T-E, the suffix, in there to imply that they are women. Just a little bit of etymological knowledge for all of you back at home, right? Now, have you seen Alvin and the Chipmunks? Not at all. Here, wait. I'm making a. Would you like to be interviewed about your Alvin and the Chipmunks knowledge for a sec?
I have no knowledge of Alvin.
You have no knowledge of Alvin and the Chipmunks.
I have no knowledge.
Well, hey, we're here to learn. We're here to learn. That's.
Hi.
Yeah, hi. What's your name?
Emily.
Emily. I'm Taylor. Taylor Cartago from Anything Can Be a Podcast with Taylor Cartago.
Cool.
I've got a little group going of people here to watch me do this thing.
Okay.
Now, out of the three chipmunks, who do you think would be your favorite?
Who are they? Like, I don't know who they are.
There's the titular Alvin. There's the titular Alvin from Alvin and the Chipmunks, right?
Okay.
He's a little rowdy. He's the star of the show. He likes to. He's kind of a face of the product, right? And then you have Simon. Okay. Simon, he's a nerd. He wears glasses. He's a bit taller than the other ones, right? He's the voice of reason, and he's just an overall, just like a sweet little guy, right?
He's a sweet little guy.
Sweet little guy. They're all sweet little guys. Between the two of them, there's a third one actually. If you want to hear about the third one.
Yes.
The third one is Theodore. Theodore, he wears green. You don't have any knowledge of any of these.
No. Do the colors matter? Like,
that's just their signature thing. You don't know how have you lived your whole life not knowing Alvin and the Chipmunks?
I don't know. I feel like I've seen them, but I just don't know who they are.
There are
what
4 movies. There are 4 movies.
They're chipmunks though. Like, I don't watch things about chipmunks. I watch trashy reality TV. We love you. That's what.
And you think that's better than Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Yes. That's how I've lived my life so far. So yeah.
So far, you've had like.
I guess I'm missing out.
You've had enough time to at least watch like one of the movies. I feel.
No, I feel like no.
No.
Wait, have you seen there's people with ski masks on?
Yeah, I think they're just doing a thing back there. I'm not really paying attention.
Okay.
Yeah. So I keep hearing them chant like cheeseballs. I think that's in reference to the cheeseball scene in Alvin and the Chipmunks, where there's a cheeseball scene where they're eating cheeseballs and they sing a song and they're like, gotta love cheeseballs, and it's like in the tune of Staying Alive. It's like cheeseballs, but staying alive. I don't know if you're familiar.
I'm not. I'm not at all. You could be telling me anything, and I'm just like, maybe that's true.
Well, in the third one, there's actually a scene where Jenny Slate. Do you know Jenny Slate?
Yeah.
You know Jenny Slate, but you don't know Alvin and the Chipmunks?
Yes, I know real people, but not fake people.
I'm sorry. Now, where she does a little Castaway bit. She has like a bunch of sports equipment that all have faces on them, and they're her family on a deserted island, and also the chipmunks are there.
It sounds like a great movie.
A great quadrilogy, thank you.
Quadrilogy. Okay.
All right, thanks. Your name was Emily?
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you. This is Anything Can Be a Podcast with Taylor Cartago.
That's insane, and I'm so happy that anything can be on here. I guess I'll look into the Chipmunks more.
Yeah, please do.
Do you suggest I start with the first movie? Is that like...
I think in release order is good, yes. Start with the first one, then go into the Squeakquel, then go into Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked, then go into Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip.
Okay, I'll make sure to watch them in order, so I build my foundation and then get all the good stuff after that.
Yes, awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
That's why I do it, America, so that people like Emily can know a little bit more about Alvin and the Chipmunks, one step at a time. Now, where were we? The Chipettes. That movie starts out actually with Alvin and the Chipmunks, no Chipettes at all, right? Just checking to make sure the mic's still on. Yeah, so that movie starts out with just Alvin and Chipmunks. They're doing a concert. Again, they're still fairly popular, right? They're still a fairly popular group of people. And I will say, Alvin, a little bit rowdy. Their choreography, they dance and they sing. But Alvin kind of does his own thing. He's swinging across the stage and everything. He's just having a good time, right? Now, the fun thing about this is that when he does his thing, a little hungry, sorry. Oh my God. That tastes awful. Okay, so Dave gets into a horrific accident in the second movie. He's in full bandage at a hospital. He can't be with the Chipmunks for a little while, so he goes with his aunt. He goes with his aunt and with like a general group of people, whatever, blah blah blah, right? And now the fun thing about Alvin and the Chipmunks. In the situation is now they have to live with an old lady with a son. The son is played by Zachary Levi. I remember that part. I'm a big Zachary Levi fan. If you insist, sure. I mean, I only have so many. So, anyway, now we're in a fun and interesting situation here. Alvin and the Chipmunks are all, doing their thing, right? They have to live with this old lady who's kind of a stickler on the rules, right? Alvin is not okay with that. Theodore, and he's kind of all right with it. Simon, I guess, is kind of all right with it. They like Dave. They miss Dave. That's all you need to know, really. They're big fans of Dave. Now, around this time, Ian, he's wandering the streets. He's kind of a nobody now. He's kind of a good-for-nothing street wanderer. He's up to no good, I say. So Ian was up to no good in this scene. He sees another 3 chipmunks, right? And they can also talk and sing, except they're all women. Now, this leads us to Brittany. This leads us with Brittany, Jeanette, and Eleanor. Eleanor is the other one. Now, Brittany is kind of a girly girl, right? She's the leader of the Chipettes, right? It's not Brittany and the Chipettes, which is a little bit odd if you wanted to keep the namesake of Alvin and the Chipmunks, but I guess Chipettes is already like a band-sounding name, so it's fine and it makes sense. But Alvin and the Chipmunks, and then the Chipettes. That's how it goes. Kind of like the Rockettes, I guess, actually, with the E-T-T-E in there. Except, like the Rockettes, they rock, and the Chipettes, they are chipmunks. Now, they sing, they dance. Ian's like, I could get you guys really popular. Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks, because they're living with this old lady, have to go to the ever-dreaded high school. Now, high school is a tough time for a lot of us, myself included. And I will say, was high school rough for you too? A little bit? Yeah. I don't know. What were your thoughts? How'd you get through it?
It was alright,
Yeah. What's your name?
Ed.
What?
Ed.
Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Taylor Cartago. With Anything Can Be a Podcast with Taylor Cartago. Have you seen Alvin and the Chipmunks?
All 4.
All 4. How would you have interacted with the Chipmunks if you went to a high school with them? Your sophomore year, maybe.
Extremely weirded out that there's some random chipmunks in there.
You're a little weirded out.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a little xenophobic?
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like the Chipmunks deserve the same amount of attention in these schools as the humans do.
No, I guess you have a point there. I mean.
Yeah. But that's just a me opinion. I'm not. It's a highly debated topic, and I can tell you right now, on Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel, they do not appreciate the Chipmunks being there. Oh, yeah. They do not appreciate the Chipmunks being there. They put them in lockers. They give the swirly. They give the swirly. Yes, I was gonna say they give the swirly to Simon. You know this movie.
I do.
You know this movie very well. How do they meet the Chipettes in this movie again? They're because they all go to high school. Is that it?
Yeah, I remember.
It's just coincidentally that all 6 of them are going to high school.
Yeah, all 6 of them went to the same high school.
All 6 of them went to the same high school. Is this the only high school in the United States that has chipmunks in it?
That's
a little weird.
Are they the only talking animals in the world?
I think so, and they're the only talking chipmunks as far as I know.
Yeah, that's the weirdest part.
That's the weirdest part.
For me, it's like, are these the only talking animals in the world?
I think so.
That's what weirds me out. Why is it just these specific chipmunks?
I'm not entirely sure myself.
Why is it specifically just the chipmunks?
I don't know. You're posing a lot of good questions here in terms of Alvin and the Chipmunks lore. I couldn't tell you. Maybe somewhere in the extended universe they explain it, but I'm not sure.
I don't know. I can barely remember the movie, honestly. It's been a while.
You can barely remember the movie, but you knew that they gave Simon a swirly in the second movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Remind me of the movie. The first one where they had Dave, they found them, they found the band. The second one where they meet the girls.
They meet the girls.
It's the one with the cruise.
It's the one with the cruise, and
the fourth one is the one where Dave's getting married, and he has a stepson.
And it's a road trip, yes.
It's a road trip one where they try to break up his parents.
Yes. Oh, you got it. You know your stuff. All right, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Yeah, well, this has been Anything Could Be a Podcast with Taylor Cartago. Yeah. You heard it here. Alvin and the Chipmunks. They're doing their thing. Alvin and said Chipmunks. I will say that, you heard the man. Alvin and the Chipmunks are now rivals at the school. They go into, I believe, a concert, like a school concert, in an attempt to make money, because again, they're just doing their thing. And I will tell you right now, Alvin and those Chipmunks are, You know how birds aren't real. I'm glad there's support for the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise. Now, here's the next bit. They do this concert. Now they're a little bit of rivals with the Chipettes, because the Chipettes are up and coming, and Ian's on their side. Now you have a little Dave versus Ian thing, and a Chipmunks versus the Chipettes thing, right? By the end of the movie, all 6 of them kind of collaborate and create their own little group, right? They become Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Chipettes, and they sing their own songs together, all as a group, right? They kind of do their thing, right? Now, I will say. Alvin, okay, where was I? I'm so lost. I'm so sorry. Alvin and Chipmunk Chipwrecked. Yeah. So the 6 of them are all, I guess, living with Dave now. All 6 of them live with Dave. That's a rough household to have to raise 6 chipmunks that are all in individual boy bands and girl groups. But you know how it is. Now, I will say. I'm so sorry. I'm so distracted right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a little bit rude, in all honesty, that people are trying to talk over my video here. But c'est la vie. So Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked. You have all 6 of them. They're all on a cruise. They're all getting into no good, right? The first little bit of it, of Act 1, is all of them kind of on this cruise having a good time. It starts out, there's a little singing montage. Alvin's performing on the cruise. They're all having a good time. They're eating food. They're doing shuffleboard. They're running around. They're going through the stuff, right? Dave is with them, and they're all in the hotel room. And I remember Dave is going out. He's doing his thing, right? He's just walking around. He's like, bedtime at 8 or something like that. Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Chipettes, all of the 6 of them, all want to go out, but they can't, you know. But they end up going, right? They have outfits. They have outfits that they wear, right? At least the Chipettes go out, I will say. I remember Theodore is stuck back in the hotel room, and he's watching a movie about, I think, unicorns, and he gets really scared of the movie about the unicorns. I personally didn't find it that scary, but maybe some people did, and I respect that. I respect your opinions on the scariness of that movie. I'll check out your Letterboxd. Now, where are we now? They're at the party part of the cruise. They're at the party area of the cruise, and they're chilling and they're hanging out, and they see these really annoying women singing and doing their thing, and they were trying to talk with the women at the party, and then they got challenged to a dance off, and the dance off is a fun little thing where they are talking and communicating and doing whatever. Then they go straight into a dance-off. And I can tell you right now, the Chipettes ate down. They ate the fuck up, dude. The Chipettes were so great, and they were doing a really good job. I'm proud of them, right? Alvin and Simon, I don't know where they are. I've totally forgotten. But I can tell you, Dave, he's walking around, and Ian is there. Ian, the producer man that was funny and endearing and silly, that didn't have a lot of knowledge on... That didn't really have a lot of knowledge on the industry and failed to adapt to the coming times, right? He's now working on this cruise dressed up in a bird costume. Now, is the mascot of this cruise a bird, or is he just doing that for fun? I could not tell you. I don't even know if the movie explains it. Or he's a pelican of some sort, I believe. Maybe he's a pelican. He's a pelican? He's a pelican. Yeah, I'm getting nods. Now... where do we go from here, right? You've got your people, you've got your stuff. Now, yes, Alvin and the Chipmunks and all them, at one point, is it that night or the next morning? When they do the kite thing? Next morning? I think around the next morning, they're all flying a kite. Alvin gets stuck on the kite, and they all try to grab onto the kite and like pull him back, and then it doesn't work. Oh no! Alvin and the Chipmunks are now flying over the ocean with a kite, right? Now, I will say, Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Chipettes, they get stranded on an island, and on a deserted island, so where they think, right? They spend their first night, they're singing around a campfire. They make a campfire. They do their thing, and they think to themselves like, "Are we ever going to get back?" They have a really touching and endearing moment where they think, "I don't know if we're ever gonna get back," and that really scares the people watching. They really think, "Will Alvin and the Chipmunks get unchipwrecked?" Chip like chipmunk. I just got that. Now, I will say, Alvin and the Chipmunks didn't really get a lot of food out of it. They're actually starving by the time that Ian and Dave get there. Ian and Dave, they make a swim. They're trying to get over there. And the bird costume actually helps them stay afloat, right? Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks, after their first night of looking for food and everything, they actually see this really cool, fun, and interesting, what do you call it? They see a fun and interesting thing where they, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I've completely lost. Oh yes, they see Jenny Slate. Jenny Slate is an archaeologist. I forget her name in the movie, but I will call her Jenny Slate. And her only friends on this island have been sports equipment, a soccer ball, a baseball, a tennis ball, I believe, a basketball. The basketball one is the scariest one. Now, I feel like, and tell me if this is a common experience, all of us watching Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked back as kids had a fever dream about the sports equipment trying to kill us. Is that a thing that happened to a lot of other people? I don't know. Have you seen Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked?
Only saw the first.
You only saw the first one?
Yeah.
So this is, please, I'm doing a podcast. I'm going to describe a scene from Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked to you, and you need to tell me if the situation is like scary, right? Alvin and the Chipmunks are on a cruise, right? And then they get stranded on a deserted island, and they think that they're alone. And then there's a crazy woman. Hi, hello. I got Frogman to show up to my podcast. That's awesome. Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks are now being chased by inanimate objects of sports equipment that have faces drawn on them. Would that have scared you as a child?
Yeah, probably.
Would that scare you now?
I don't think so. They look very silly.
The sports equipment or the Chipmunks?
The Chipmunks.
I think the Chipmunks have a lot of personality, and I can relate to them on a human level. Now, I really wonder what's going on back there. I really do.
I don't know. I'm waiting for him to throw up.
Him to what?
To throw up.
Oh yeah, I am too. I don't really know what he's doing, but I feel like throwing up would be a reasonable reaction to such a big crowd. It's a little scary. Thank you so much for your time. What was your name again?
NG.
Nice to meet you. I'm Taylor Cartago. Yes. Now, where are we now? They build homes. They build houses up in the trees of the island. They're doing their thing. They're hanging out. They're having a good time, right? Alvin and the Chipmunks and the frog guy passed by again. He just came in and left. It's a little weird, a little bit odd. Yeah, I don't know. Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks do a fun little thing. They where they're building their houses. They're doing their thing. Simon now gets bitten by a spider. Right? And the spider bite makes him go a little insane. Maybe from placebo. Maybe because the spider is actually poisonous. But no matter what happens, Simon actually becomes Simone. He falls asleep and he wakes up, and now he is Simone. He is a French chipmunk. And instead of him being, as we've characteristically called him, like, the smart one of the group, the careful one, he becomes adventurous and crazy. And Jeanette really enjoys this new Simon, right? Now, Simone, fun, interesting guy, very different than the original Simon character, right? Now, what is what happens next? What are the other arcs? I think Theodore just gets scared of the sports equipment a lot. I think that's part of his journey. I know that Alvin and Brittany have a little feud in terms of who can run the island the best, and Dave and Ian are just learning to get along. This is the first movie where I feel like they really need to bond, and they really need to figure out what's going on and how they can help, right? Now, they have a conversation where they're like, now we're trapped on this island, what do we do? They're searching for the chipmunks, they don't really know where the chipmunks are, right? Jenny Slate, the Jenny Slate character, is, a little bit crazy. She's been on this island for a while. She's lots of inanimate objects with faces on them, right? What happens with Jenny Slate's character is she's actually there, as she mentioned earlier, on a journey because she's a scientist and she's trying to figure out the legends of this island, right? She's a historian. She's like, something was up here and I've been exploring and I got lost and I got trapped and now she's been living there forever. And it's been, I want to say 7 years. She's been there for 7 years, right? That's about as old as the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise was at this time, if not much younger. Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise was only so many years, and I think 7 is older than the amount of years it took for them to make Chipwreck. At least in the advent of the movies being created. Now, thank you guys for your support. My voice is really parched. Where were we? Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks, they have their thing. Dave actually finds them. Ian actually finds them. They actually find the group, and they all get together, right? Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks, they're living their island dream, actually. They're having a good time. Simone's having a good time. And they're all kind of figuring it out. But what happens is Jeanette gets stolen. Jeanette gets stolen and scared by the different sports equipment with the faces, right? Jenny Slate does her thing where she's trapping Jeanette and tying rope around her waist so that she can get into the back of a waterfall where there are mass amounts of gold. Now, how did the gold get there originally? I'm not entirely sure. I don't know how the gold got there. I really don't know how the gold got there. But I will say that the gold, like what do you call it? The gold is a really interesting thing to be trapped behind a waterfall, right? The waterfall is a very big piece of iconography from the Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked franchise of films and movies and all that. Where are we? So Jeanette gets the gold. Jeanette kind of does her thing, figures it all out. And sorry, excuse me. I'm trying to do a podcast here. I'm so sorry. But what's happening next? What's going on? Okay, so now they're all kind of trapped and it's a little scary. They're all making their houses. They're all kind of getting along. It's still tough, though, because now Jenny Slate is evil, right? Jenny Slate is now definitely the antagonist of these films. If we didn't already know from the fact that she was crazy, right? Act 3 happens. There's a volcano that erupts. The volcano erupting had nothing to do with the other stuff that happened in the movie. It just kind of does. Now, around this time, I believe Dave and Ian are building a boat. They build a boat. They build a raft of some sort. They're building their raft and they're figuring it out and they're doing their thing. I get that this podcast is a little bit out of the way, but telling me to eat balls isn't really a nice gesture. Hey, just rubbing it in. Okay. Thanks, guys. I get it. Now, what happens next? They have to cross. They have to cross like a little log that connects two cliffs because that's the only way to get back. That's the only way to get back to the shore, right? They're walking. You know, the volcano and the eruption and the earthquake and the shaking ground actually makes some of them fall off, right? It's kind of a leap of faith that they have to take when they're doing this, and they're jumping and they're scared, and they should be scared. It's a scary event. It's a scary moment, right? Now, so sorry, a lot of pollen in the air. What ends up happening is I haven't seen the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies in so long. It's been such a long time. But I guess they all do make it back. Simon becomes Simon again. He's no longer Simone, and they get on their raft and they go back home. I don't remember if there's ever a scene of them like going back to the mainland or anything. But I bet you it does end on some sort of musical number. The Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked movie, the third one. Now, where does this lead us? Where does this lead us in terms of the franchise, right? Alvin and the Chipmunks are 3 in. It's a trilogy, right? The first movie was an introduction. The second movie was kind of an addition. And the third movie is putting them in a situation that is different and changes the circumstances, right? It's themed, right? It's not just like introducing new things. It's using the pre-existing characters and putting them in new situations to make their lives even crazier, right? And what's even crazier than being stranded on an island? A road trip, if you will. Chip, as in chipmunks, because the fourth Alvin and the Chipmunks movie is Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip, right? Now, Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip came out at an unfortunate time. It came out the exact same weekend as Star Wars Episode 7, The Force Awakens, right? Now, this is a tough moment for the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise, because I can tell you right now, if I had to choose between watching Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip and Star Wars Episode 7, I'm gonna be real. I watched Star Wars Episode 7 that Friday night. I remember talking to my friend Jonathan back in old grade school, and I was like, "Are you gonna watch the new Star Wars movie?" And he went, "I don't really know much about that. I'm gonna watch Alvin and the Chipmunks though this weekend." And I thought to myself, Jonathan, why? You know, it was one of those things where it was just a deeply unfortunate amount of timing, where Disney decided to kind of cut off the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise. This movie didn't end up doing very well, and I think it's not in reference to the sheer subject matter of Alvin and the Chipmunks. It's in reference to the fact that they released it at the worst time in the summer, spring movie release season, right? Now, what happens from here? Alvin and the Chipmunks, they're living their lives. They're still singing. They're still dancing. The Chipettes are also singing. They're still dancing. They're doing their things. And they go on a road trip. What happens in Road Chip? Does anyone know what happens in Road Chip? What? At one point, they get on the no-fly list. There's a scene, I remember this part where Alvin and the Chipmunks, they have to get onto a plane, but then they're stuck in luggage, so then they go through the x-rays, and while they're going through the x-rays, like their skeletons are found inside the thing, and it kind of disrupts the x-rays. They get out. Alvin and the Chipmunks are put on a no-fly list. This is a thing that happened in the movie. I don't remember much of the rest of the movie. I remember, you know what? I remember that Laura Marano is in this movie. The person from Austin and Ally and many other shows and the whatnots. She's a musician now, Laura Marano. She sings. She plays the piano and produces music. Sorry, have you seen Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip?
I have not.
Because neither have I. I'm trying to figure that out. I'm trying to figure out the plot right now, and it's kind of tough to think. It's just really loud, you know how parks are. But it's I feel like no one watched Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Trip.
I don't know anyone that has.
You don't know anyone that has?
No.
Wow. This is a tough situation that we're in, folks. I think that Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Trip. It's someone's birthday. It's someone's birthday. That's beautiful. I'm gonna keep asking. I'm so sorry.
This is so emotional.
Thank you so much. Have you seen Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip?
I have not.
I don't think anyone has. Have you seen Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip? No, you haven't. I don't think anyone's seen Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip, have they? This is just a testament to how crazy Star Wars: The Force Awakens was as a franchise. But where is Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise going in the trajectory, right? If they were to keep going, Alvin and the Chipmunks would have been one of the most wondrous IPs to ever exist. But I can tell you right now, they kind of weren't. They kind of faded into obscurity, especially after Chipwrecked. And Road Chip was kind of like the nail in the coffin in terms of their trajectory and in terms of how successful their movies were going to be in the future, right? That leads us to the Alvin and the Chipmunks TV show that is now on Nickelodeon, right? Alvin and the Chipmunks, the TV show, is fully animated. Dave is fully animated, the Chipmunks are fully animated, and they changed the characters a little bit, right? They are less furry all around, and they go back to the original idea of Alvin and the Chipmunks, where the three of them were kind of, they had like the fur on the outside, kind of in a man-wolf-esque kind of hair situation, placement kind of situation, right? Except in the Alvin and the Chipmunks TV show on Nickelodeon, it was pretty endearing, and it was wondrous and beautiful. I see someone pointing. That's dangerous. Climbing on the statue is a little dangerous. Weird stuff going on at this park today, I guess. New York City. Now, with this TV show, Dave is also fully animated, and I don't believe that Ian is even in it. It starts out the same, actually, where it's the three chipmunks, and they actually have the Chipettes come in. I remember that much about the situation. Alvin and the Chipmunks, Road Chip, Alvin and the Chipmunks, the TV show. I'm running out of things to say. I really need someone to tell me what Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip was about. Can you look this up? Can we look this up? Please.
That's where Dave gets a new girlfriend and they're about to get married.
Oh, Dave gets a new girlfriend and they're about to get married.
And they go on this road trip.
And they go on a road trip. Yeah, that's a titular.
They want the family to get together.
They want the family to get together.
But the stepbrother hates the Chipmunks. The Chipmunks hate the stepbrother. So now they just plan on this entire trip to make it the worst possible trip ever. So they get broken up and now become.
Oh, so the stepbrother is the antagonist of the film.
They both kind of are.
Everyone's the antagonist of the film. And do they now? I'll ask you this: what's the climax of this film? How did they resolve this conflict?
I don't even remember, honestly.
You don't remember that part, but you remember the first part?
Yes.
Okay. The first time I watched Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Trip, it was on a plane multiple years after that movie and Star Wars The Force Awakens had come out. So I don't remember much of it. But you remember that? What else do you remember?
I think in the end, they end up getting together after they get the stepbrother a girlfriend. They got together with this girl. Then started liking him.
A girl starts liking the stepbrother.
Yeah, and then because of the Chipmunks, and the Chipmunks and the stepbrother just start liking each other even more because of that. And the end, right at the breaking point where the parents are about to break up,
yeah,
they come together and try and save marriage at the end.
Oh, so that's how it ends?
More or less.
Okay.
And they become like a happy family.
Right. That's interesting. That's some interesting stuff. I think Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Trip was kind of destined to fail, wasn't it? Do you think that movie is better than the other four?
No.
All right. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for being here again. Yeah. Thank you so much. Sorry, excuse me. I'm doing a podcast right here. Can I ask you a couple questions? Yeah. Here. Tell us your name.
Dylan.
Hello, Dylan. I have a bit of a question for you. If you had to rank all the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, what would be your 1, 2, 3, 4? Start with the worst one. What was the worst Alvin and the Chipmunks movie?
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with the titles.
It starts out with Alvin and the Chipmunks, then it goes to Alvin and the Chipmunks The Squeakquel, then it goes to Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked. That's the one where they
that order.
And then they go into Alvin and the Chipmunks Road Chip.
I'm gonna go with the first one is the best, and then the second one, and then the third one.
Where's the fourth one placed on your list?
The fourth one goes in the fourth spot.
Wow. The movies get progressively worse. Dylan, what do you think went wrong with the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise?
I think movies in general are just getting worse, so
yeah,
no hate to Alvin. Alvin's the boy.
That getting a little political here in the Alvin and the Chipmunks podcast. I think movies are getting worse. What do you mean by that?
The characters, the emotion is just not the same anymore.
And the first Alvin and the Chipmunks had a deep emotional value to you.
Yeah, I mean, I was very close to Alvin personally, so.
Yeah, you were an Alvin fan? Well, I guess my next question my next question is one that is posed online. There's a photo of Alvin and the Chipmunks. I don't know if you've ever seen it, where Alvin, Simon, and Theodore are on like a couch of some sort, and there's a caption, "Who's getting the best head?" Which one of the three do you think is?
What's the chubby one's name?
Theodore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go him.
Why do you say that?
Just it's what I'm feeling. I feel like chubby guys, they got good games, so he's probably carrying the weight.
Yeah, you know the Chipettes, right?
Sure.
It's the girl versions of the Chipmunks.
Yeah.
So Brittany would be the one with Alvin. Jeanette would be the one with Simon, and then Eleanor would be the one with Theodore.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Eleanor.
Eleanor, okay. Yeah. I don't think I asked the question at that time, but thank you. Thank you so much. What was your name? Dylan?
Dylan, yeah.
Dylan, nice to meet you. Appreciate it. Yeah, have a good one. Now, this photo is an interesting question because it's not canon. This was a drawing that someone made and posted online. And the fact that this got traction really shows you that Alvin and the Chipmunks have fallen a little bit out of fashion, right? It's a little weird of a situation, the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise, that now their biggest thing is that, what do you call it? This is awesome.
Yeah, we're muted. You could see my mouse move, but nothing. You won't even know what's happening. Oh, he's gonna throw up again.
Hi, I'm doing a little bit of a podcast here.
Oh, podcast at the Cheeseball Man podcast. Hi, my name.
Is that what's going on right now?
Yeah, well, Cheeseball Man.
Who?
Cheeseball Man.
That doesn't explain. What does he do? Just eat cheese balls or something?
Cheese balls for a living.
Really?
Yes. My name is Tamir Omari. Make sure to come back for the next episode of this podcast. Have a great rest of your day.
Is there a social that I could put in the?
Yes, at Tamir Omari. www.tamiromari.com. I'm not answering that.
When Tamir Omari said, "I'm not answering that," he was pointing in reference to a sign that says, "Who's getting the best head?" The question that we asked Dylan a little bit earlier, right? Alvin and the Chipmunks. Now, my favorite Alvin and the Chipmunks song, out of all the ones that they've made, is Alvin and the Chipmunks' "Bad Day." That one gets me in my feels. That one's a little bit emotional. I think that Alvin and the Chipmunks' "Bad Day" is one of the greatest songs, not just ever created by a chipmunk, but ever created in general, right? Did you guys know that in Alvin and the Chipmunks, they don't just pitch up the audio, they have all of them talk much slower in the recording room, and then they speed up their talking in order to make it sound chipmunky. If it were me, I would have just made the Chipmunks talk at a normal pace and then up the pitch. But he's doing like a whole other thing, which is a little bit crazy, you know. But it is what it is. Oh yeah, go ahead. You can pass by. Don't worry. All right. Man, Cheeseball Man. That's what they called Alvin back in that first Alvin and the Chipmunks movie. Now, anything else? I'm really at a loss for words now. Alvin and the Chipmunks is a near and dear franchise to the American people, and in all honesty, I should have done better. I thought I could maybe stretch this video out to about an hour. That's my goal with every one of these. I have a teleprompter now, and by teleprompter I mean my friend is writing something on a piece of paper. Sing. It just says the words sing. SOS, please, someone help me. And then Alvin and the Chipmunks' "Bad Day" is like, I don't remember the words, I just remember the Alvin and the Chipmunks singing it. So you've had a bad day, you're taking one down. Hula hoop. What is hula hoop?
From the first time.
What? They hula? Oh, what?
I don't remember. All I remember is hula hoop.
I don't think hula hoop. Oh, I remember that one where like I swing my tail back and forth. I swing my tail back and forth, and that's a song that they sing, and it's because they have tails, and that's the joke. Now, my thing about the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise is that they really only go to high school for the one movie. Now I don't remember what happens in the rest of them, but do they only go to high school for 1 year? There are 4 movies, and only one of them is about high school. this is a weird trajectory for the Alvin and the Chipmunks franchise. And I think that the Alvin and the Chipmunks movies, the problem is they kind of jump the shark. They jump the shark, right? The first one is a standard Alvin and the Chipmunks story. The second one built on that and adds layers to the emotional value and the emotional heart of the characters because they're doing everyday, normal human things, and they're also chipmunks. And once you get to Chipwrecked, it's like, whoa, how do we get to chipmunks on an island, right? Chipwrecked, kind of it jumps the shark, and then with Road Chip, you actually go a little bit less crazy than Chipwrecked, which is also a weird trajectory. But I will say, like, it's definitely not a normal premise for one of these. People are waving. I heard from somewhere this man behind me threw up. I hope he's okay. If anyone out there knows this guy, please let me know if he's okay down in the comments below. I just want to make sure that he's okay. Is it tough? Hello. Have you seen Alvin and the Chipmunks? No. Okay. That one was that was one of my better interviews. I'll say that much. I can't really see anything. This guy behind me anymore.
This is getting dirty. This is actually insane.
Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alvin and the Chipmunks. Can I just do this for the next like 4 minutes? Alvin and the Chipmunks. Alvin and the Chipmunks. He's throwing up. He's throwing up. Oh my god.
Yeah, we're still muted? Okay, good.
Wow.
Yo, bro.
This is some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
I will say, like, I planned this months in advance. I was like, I'm gonna go to Union Square Park and record my podcast, and this cheeseball man just showed up. It was a weird coincidence of things. From what I'm hearing, at least, he seems like a pretty popular guy. Re-explain in Fortnite terms, my friends are saying. What? Do you want to re-explain Alvin and the Chipmunks in Fortnite terms? Here, go ahead. Come here. Me? I don't know Fortnite that well. This is easily my worst episode of the podcast, I will say. Let's see even.
He's all we need.
He is a superhero in Pleasant. He is not. He is a puppet.
Wow, I really.
He is human because he is the peak of humanity.
What is going on back here?
So he's gonna throw.
Only a person.
He's gonna throw out in his barf bag.
Oh.
And he's gonna just like finish the rest.
Okay. Wow.
I know, right?
That's really
heroic of him.
Why are we here watching him?
Tradition.
Tradition.
Yeah.
He does this a lot.
This is the second time doing it.
A tradition is not 2 times, is it?
Well, I think so.
No, you're right. You've done it.
I haven't been here last time, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, this is crazy.
I decided, you know what? It's a legendary name. I gotta join in. I gotta, do all that.
Yeah. Wow.
And, like, it's legendary.
Yeah. Oh shoot! He's got a cape.
Another cape.
Wow. That's some good. Oh. What's going on? Oh, hi. What are you guys looking at over there? No, come over, please. Come over here, please.
What's up?
We're gonna put the photo up right here. Put the photo up right here. In the edit, I'm gonna put a photo up there. Who do you think out of the 3 of them is?
So we were just talking about this. So
yeah.
like Alvin's playing it up a little bit, right?
I think he is.
Yeah, he is. And then you look at like Simon, like he looks like he's kind of hurting a little bit,
but that might be part of the.
But like Theodore is ascending to a different plane.
I'm also team Theodore.
He's entering
I will say
a higher state of being.
He's really, and it doesn't look performative like Alvin's.
No, like he is genuinely like it is an intimate moment, and like he's feeling it. You know.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. I don't know. I think like. It's pretty even between Simon and Theodore for me.
Okay.
Alvin, he's definitely the bottom.
Alvin's not in there.
Alvin's not in there.
Simon's in the conversation, but Alvin's not.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Wow.
High five, man. High five.
Oh, we're getting high
five. High five, man.
High five.
Welcome. High five.
How you doing? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
Doing great. I don't know what that was about. All right, well, this has been Anything Can Be a Podcast with Taylor Cartago. I'm Taylor Cartago, and I'm here to say, gotta love cheese balls, gotta love cheese balls, gotta love cheese balls, gotta love cheese balls. Thank you, America. Thank you, and I hope this guy's okay. I really hope this guy's okay.